but I'm here live for day 13 of the When Wisdom Meets AI here on my new Substack publication called The Intentional Visibility Project. And today is the day that we're celebrating 3 years of the Real 50 Over 50, which is a live stream interview series that I started 3 years ago on March 15th, 2023. We had our first interview, and I wanted to just share a little about that, how it started, what it's evolved into, where I see it going, and invite you to join us today at noon if you happen to be around, because we're having a meet and mingle. Hold on, I'm just going to put I'm going to put the link here if you want to register for it. This is I don't think that's the full link. I'm sorry, I'm having all kinds of technical difficulties this morning. Oh, goodness. It all works till it doesn't work, right? Okay, so that should do it. That's the link to join us for the meet and mingle today, noon Eastern time, and we just gather together and connect. It's nothing, really structured. No recordings. We just connect. We've been doing this for the last couple of months on the last Wednesday of the month, and it's been a lot of fun. I also want to, before I just get started, I just want to also include another link here to go back and see all the replays and read all of the articles. What I'm going to talk about today is really the history of the Real 50 Over 50 and what we're celebrating and where we're going. But there's going to be an accompanying article to this that I'm just putting the finishing touches on, where at the end of every interview, I ask the guest to provide a wisdom bomb, something small and actionable that the audience can take with them and make a difference in their day or make a difference in somebody else's day. And what I've done is gathered them together, and I'm going to share a minimum of 30 of them in this article, but we have quite a few. Anyway, without further links and interruptions, I want to just share what the Real 50 Over 50 is, how it started, and see it going. So this was February 2023, actually February 17th, 2023. I was in bed and I was listening to Mika Brzezinski on Morning Joe talk about the Forbes 30 Over 50 conference in Abu Dhabi that she partners with Forbes to kind of be like the voice for that whole franchise of events that they have. And it's a movement. I mean, and I celebrate it. It's amazing. It's wonderful. It's not for everyone. What I have learned is that to sit in the audience at one of those events, it's $10,000 a seat. And to be considered to be nominated for one of those lists, if you're a founder or a small business owner, you have to have a minimum of $10 million in revenue. And that pretty much ruled out everyone I know. So what I did as I was laying there, like, just a little pissed off, I started to think about all the women that I know that are over 50 that are doing remarkable work in the world. And I started to make a list. And in 15 minutes, I had 50 names on that list. And then, as I do, I went to go do keyword research. And I'm using all the same tools that banks use, and financial and medical institutions and educational institutions, and people making decisions about what happened in our lives. I'm using the same tools that they use, and everything that came up for women over 50 was about your hair and your makeup and your body's falling apart, and nobody cares about you anymore. So sit down and shut up. You're done. Make room for somebody else. And I was not okay with that. And then I started to poke around at domains and what domains were available, because that's the next thing I do. And the Real 50 Over 50 was available for $1. So I had no idea what this was going to be. I had no idea if it was going to be anything. I was just interested, so I bought a domain. And then I sat there and I was thinking about it. And I got a little tap on the shoulder. And that tap on the shoulder said to me, so now you have this information, you know the people, you've got some skills. What are you going to do about it? So I thought about it for a few minutes and, I was in the middle of redesigning my business. I was in the middle of dealing with health stuff. I was in the middle of a child in college, like who graduated class of 2020, and we were still dealing with the fallout of that. So, full plate. And I was like, okay, so like I really don't need another thing to take on right now. But I did have the skills to do it. I had the skills to do the hands-on work. I had the skills to do every portion of this work, and there was a need. So I started to reach out to my friends, my colleagues, my clients that were on that list of 50 women, and within 2 weeks, I had 40 interviews booked. So I just picked right smack in the middle of the week, Wednesday at noon, and I started doing interviews. I didn't have any structure. I didn't have any plan. I was just going to show up on Wednesday for those 40 interviews that I had booked. And I was going to interview my friends, my community, the people I work with, the people I interact with all the time. And it was amazing. I mean, I will share the first interview. Had I not been 58 years old at the time, if I was like in my 40s, this never would have happened because about a half an hour before the interview was scheduled to go live, the woman reached out to me and said that her dog had suddenly gotten very ill and she had to take him to the vet. And, sadly, he passed away that day. Um, but I'm sitting there, and, had I been 40 years old and not full of the wisdom I'm full of now, I would have just said, "This isn't meant to be. I'm not doing it." But instead, I called my friend Stephanie and I said, "Holy shit, what do I do?" And she said, "I'll interview you." I said, "Okay." And she interviewed me. And the week after that, I did a self interview. So, the first real interview with another person happened the third weekend. And it was exactly what it was supposed to be because I kind of laid the foundation of what it was. And Stephanie has since passed away, but she was one of my closest friends, and she was with me from the birth of this idea. So she asked me all the questions, and it was exactly what it was supposed to be. And I eventually did interview that first person that I was supposed to interview a few weeks later. Um, but since that happened, this has grown through almost 100% people that I know or people that introduced me to somebody else. And we have now done 145 interviews. We have 18 panels because I was doing monthly panels for a while, but it just got to be a lot of work, and people were not, you know, they were having to cancel because their schedules changed. And what was really special about the panels is like getting a group of people in the room sharing ideas. So what I did was I replaced them with a monthly meet and mingle on the last Wednesday of the month at noon. And the link to join us today is in the comments if you want to join us. And they've been amazing because it was just about getting everyone together. And what I realized from the beginning was what I was creating was different. It was not like a lot of the other things that are out there. It was just something that was very organic, very grassroots. There's not a lot of structure to it. I don't edit, I don't clean things up, I don't repost it on podcasts. And there's some kind of magic to the alchemy of this, that it is organic and there's not a lot of structure to it. And I don't even do a lot of prep for the interviews. I show up and we just talk, and people love them. I don't really get a lot of people live, but I just like doing live streams because, again, I don't want to do a lot of prep work. I don't want to do a lot of editing. I just want to show up and talk. And I want to do that with people. So for the last 3 years, I have been watching Substack. And I've been keeping an eye on it. And, for one reason or another, every time I thought I was going to dive in, something else came up and I didn't. But now is the time. And I have been doing this for about a month now, maybe a little over a month, 6, 7 weeks. And it's incredible. I have not even like scratched the surface with all of the things that I want to do. And, I've been making notes for 3 years, people I want to follow, people I want to connect with, the things I want to do, how I see the platform working, where I see it's beneficial for me and for this community that I've built with now has close to 180 people in it. I think we may have even hit 180 people. And it's just been extraordinary. I'm seeing the possibilities of how this is very much like Twitter in like 2009, where you could really just go in there and simply connect with anybody you want to connect with. And one of the things that I'm going to do is in like 2000, starting in like 2008, I was doing a lot of social media training, and I had this whole program that I created called the Total Social PR System that I had hundreds of people go through. I had it for like 5 years, and we covered all the social media platforms, PR, SEO, content development. I still have all of that content and I use it all the time. I created like what I'm working on now, a lot of it was pulled from that and upcycled into what I'm doing today. But I'm going to take my 2009 Twitter training and I'm going to turn that into a 2026 Substack training because it's very similar. And I'm really excited to be able to show how what is happening now on Substack is what was happening on Twitter in 2009, where I was part of this whole group of people that built, solid businesses on that platform because it was so easy to connect with people and the right people, not just random general noise, but really being able to go in and listen and connect with the people that you want to connect with. And what I'm building now, I took my content and I took the interview transcripts from the Real 50 over 50 and I looked where there were crossovers and gaps. And I want to take the skills that I have spent 40 years amassing in one way or another, whether it be through a job or my business or just being curious, and the relationships that I've built and the community that I've built with the Real 50 over 50 and create a media platform for women over 50. And I am so ridiculously excited about this that I can't even sleep. Part of this has also been reclaiming the space in my home. My son, he's launched, he's gone, he's doing his own thing. And I took his bedroom and made it my office. So this newly painted wall behind me, this purple wall is on brand. And this is where the media platform for the Real 50 over 50 will be designed and built. And I'm just really excited about the whole thing. So, what I've been doing for this is day 13 of 15 days of live streaming. I've been sharing bits of my work. I've been sharing bits of, the women that are part of the Real 50 over 50, plus one man, Brad Walsh. And Brad Walsh he's our first man in the community because he was a boudoir photographer. And from listening to the stories of his clients, he realized more people need to share these stories. So he has a podcast and he has interviewed over 800 women sharing their stories. And I'm going to be interviewing him in June. And he's already interviewed me for his podcast. And just more. We're just growing. We're going into different directions, and I want to keep it fluid and open. I don't have a master plan. It's just see where we go and see what everybody needs and how we can grow together on a platform that allows us to own our voice and to own our content, to own our lists. I think the way that technology is moving, it's really important that we keep our body of work portable, because Substack may be the best solution today, but it might not be in a couple of weeks. I thought Twitter was for life. It's not. And, one of the things I often say when I talk about platforms is remember Blab. Blab was out for a short time. People went all in. They built specific Blab platforms and it was gone overnight. Like it was there when you went to sleep, and in the morning, the whole thing was gone. So, we need to be able to have, our content in places where we can access it and we could move it. And that's part of what I'm going to be doing with this as well, creating systems around making it easy to have your content in the tools and the platforms you need to be using, but also that it remains portable in a place where you can move it to other places. If and that could happen quickly. We don't know. I mean, we're living in a time of uncertainty and things that we've never experienced before on both sides of the equation. So, I'm just thinking forward a bit when it comes to that. Um, what we've accomplished so far without a real plan and without, um, with just, people that have something to share, that they have a difference to make, tell. Um, aside from raising my child, it's been the most rewarding thing that I've ever done, and I feel like I'm just getting started. I have sat on this growing, um, gold mine of content, which is very unlike me because I'm a big content repurposer, upcycler, reuser. I don't want to create anything if there's not five things to do with it, five meaningful things to do with it. But I didn't know what to do with this, and I didn't want it to be random. And, I'm fine with it not being structured and planned, but it's not going to be random. There's going to be purpose behind it. And I also I didn't want to jump on a bandwagon. I knew it needed to be different, and I've always kind of known it needed to be on Substack. I just wasn't sure how to do it and whether the timing was right, but it feels right now. And I the Substack is built for this. It's built for relationships, stories, connection, um, not getting, bogged down with technology and connecting a lot of tools. It's quite a simple interface once you get the hang of it. I've been saying it's simple but not easy. And it's not easy because it asks you questions that you need to think about. Because I think that that was intentional, that they want people to put quality content up there. The intake process of setting up all of your settings when you launch a publication, there are probably 50 different things that you need to think through, and they really want you to think through them. And what I've noticed is people are kind of rushing through this because they just want to get the platform up and they don't want to think about it. But I'm going to encourage you to do the opposite. Go through and, really think through your answer to each one of those things, because some of the settings are not that easy to change once you've established yourself. And you've got people following you and you've got content. So, take the time to go through it. Take a couple of hours and sit and go through line by line by line. And even if you don't have the answers to what those fields, and come back to it, and don't wait months to come back to it. Come back to it soon. Think about it, and think about, what how you want to show up on this platform, who you want to be, who you want to connect with. Spend a little time listening first, and signing up for other people's Substacks, even the free versions, just to kind of see what it feels like. And a couple of paid ones, you can join some for 8, 10, $12 a month, so you don't have to make a big investment. But just to see the process, because you're not going to know what you want until you see what it feels very different, because it really is based on the relationship, and the tools will, it will take you where you tell it you want it to go. But in just about a little over a month doing this, I've already got opportunity. I've not begun my connection strategies yet. I have a That's going to start next week, and I'm building share what I'm doing and how I'm working and what I'm learning, and how it's impacting other things that I'm doing, and where things intersect and where they don't, and how it works with other tools. So I'm going to be figuring all of this out, and I've been in this stuff for so long. It's not going to take me long to figure this out. I've been watching for a long time. Substack is also changing. It's changing, features that it didn't have in the past. Um, and it's also hiring people in the partnership, to like partnership development. It's building actual partnership development offices globally in New York, San Francisco, in Asia, and in Europe. So that tells me that they're investing in the creators, and they want creators are active within the organization. So, they're going to invest in us. So we build their organization. And that's very different than ads. That's very different than them building their organization on where people click on ads. They really want us to be part of the fabric of what they're building. So, it's my intention to be part of it and to bring everyone that's part of my world along with me. And that includes my 50 over 50 community. And, I want to grow it in that way too, that we're all, um, you know, we're growing together. It's not me ahead of everyone else. It's me going ahead of everyone else to figure this out and bring it back. I've been calling it my little hero's journey. So I'm going out, I'm figuring out where the vipers are, and then I'm coming back and I'm telling people what works, what doesn't work. And I'm really excited to do that because I would do this regardless. I like to figure out the way things work. And I just think there is so much opportunity and there is so much need for our voices, for our stories. The world is changing so fast, and um, we can't. We can't be afraid of the tools. We can't be afraid of technology, because if the people who are doing the good work are not showing up bold and loud, the people that will be showing up are the people that are not doing the good work. So we can't just leave it to them. It's not an option. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. And there will be an article. I'll post it later, and it'll go out to, everyone who's subscribed will get a notice. But it's going to, include what I'm talking about here, and, shout outs to a minimum of 30 people in the Real 50 over 50 community and their wisdom bombs. And we have 2 more days. I'm going to be back talking about how AI fits into all of this, and, just a little bit more about where I see this going, and celebrating all of the women that have been part of this for 3 years, and the work that they are doing and continue to do, and the change that they're bringing to the world, and the impact and the difference that they are making every single day. Connect with them, listen to them, get to know them. These are real women living real lives. They're not unattainable, and they're magic. So I can tell you they've changed my life in ways I never expected to happen in my 60s. So go meet them. They're all here. And you can go to my website, cravottamediagroup.com, and there's a 50 over 50 page where you can see all of their faces, all of the upcoming interviews, replays. They're all on YouTube. And on my Substack, there are 3 tiers, and all of them are valuable. There's the free tier where I will always share lots of information. There is the monthly and annual, which is $10 a month or $88 a year. And there's more there. I've got some guides, and then we're going to have conversation chats going every month. And then on the founding member tier, that's where the real work is going to happen. That's $300 for the year. And that's where I'm going to be building out all of the things that I'm learning and that I'm doing, and sharing it all. And that is going to kick off on April 3rd and April 10th with a 2-part workshop that's for founding members only. And we're going to be working through my tried and new process to create a content plan based on what you already have, and then building it out in Google Notebook LM. Which I shared a bunch about, where I uploaded my stuff in there, and that's what I created all of the content for this live stream series about. Notice that it's not a how to build a Substack workshop that we're starting with, because you need content first. If you don't have content, you've got nothing to share, and I don't want you to launch a publication without having great content to share. And when you're going into a new platform, you want to share about who you are and what you've already accomplished. So that's what we're going to do. The tried and new process takes you through what you already have, and pulling the best out of that, and using that as the foundation for what you're building next. So that's all going to happen in the founding member tier, and it's all available on my Substack. So just come and subscribe to whatever works for you, and follow me, because I'm going to be doing some really interesting things. I'm very excited about this, and thank you for joining me live today, or if you're watching the replay, and if you're available at noon Eastern today, register for the meet and mingle and come meet some of these amazing women. I think we've got 25 or 26 people registered already, and they're just fun. Have a lovely Wednesday, my favorite day of the week, and I will see y'all later or tomorrow.